Okay, but this is a part of our work on IPM approach for the control of mites in Italian honeybees and Sicilian honeybees as a part of the WP2 of the UNB project. And in this presentation, I'd like to show you part of our work carried out by me and by Federico Manganello and Filippo Lazzari concerning the use of alternative organic acids as a treatment for controlling Varroa. As all we will know, Varroa mite is the most dangerous pest of the honeybees in the world, as it attack both the larva and mature stage of this insect, and it creates a lot of threats on the adult that can be lowering their performances, part due to the parasite attack directly or because they were attacked in the larval phase. So,
Sì, devi smanettarci un po'. Ah, non lo so, io sono entrato. Bene.
The problem is that infested colony of honeybee go toward the winter colony loss. That is a great problem of the beekeepers. So how we combat this formidable and very, very performance parasite? We can use synthetic acaricides, but there are some side effects, such as the occurrence of these molecules on the products, and in addition, they cannot be used in organic beekeeping. And there is some rising of resistance from Varroa to these substances. On the other side, we can use the natural acaricides, some organic acids. The most known is oxalic acid, but also formic acid is very performing substances against Varroa. Or we can use essential oils such as thymol and so on. But in the recent years, there are some researches and studies regarding other organic acids, among them the hope-et acids. But about these substances, there are very few experimental data, and the research is ongoing today. So, in the frame of the work package 2 of the Plan B project, the UNITUS-DAFNE was committed to try to study a different IPM approach against this parasite, including hive manipulation, treatment with organic acids, and pre-winter integration with some elements. In this presentation, I'd like to show you our results, including hive manipulation and treatment with hope acids. About hope acids, it's clear that we used only food-grade products that were canned gift from Upsteiner, Germany. Hope acids are used currently as a bitter to give bitterness to the beer. Is used throughout the world for this purpose. There are two types of hope acids: the alpha isoacids and the beta isoacids. The substances are similar from the organoleptic traits, but they are very different as far as the chemical physical traits. In particular, alpha isoacids are more soluble in water than the beta isoacids. And we use them separately to test their effectiveness against Varroa, comparing results with the oxalic acids, that is our, how can I say, our treatment of routine. In the first step of our study, we try to test the substances in laboratory conditions, so under control. And we spread alpha and beta isoacids on the bees, the ratio of about 1.6 microliters of solution per bees. Per bee, in the range of concentration from 0.1 to 2% in a sugar solution as alpha isoacids and 6% of oxalic acids. As a negative control, we use the sugar solution 50%. The test duration was 120 hours, and honeybee and Varroa mortality was carefully checked throughout the study. The amount of solution spread on the bees was obtained by calculation, considering that Italian bees, one frame of Italian bees covered by Italian bees is about 3,100 bees, and we routinely use 5 milliliters of oxalic acids Varroa treatment. So dividing the amount of spray solution on the bees, we obtain this rate of application. From this first experiment, I'll show you here the synthesis of a statistical analysis. We observed a lower mortality of the bees treated with alpha acids in comparison with the oxalic acids, an increase of mortality of Varroa in when we used the 0.3–0.6% of alpha acids in comparison to oxalic acids. With beta acids, we had to use a solubilizer to make the compound soluble in the water, and we used ethanol at about 20% in water. And by using this solution, we observed interesting reduced honeybees mortalities in the range 0.5–2% of beta acids, and substantially the same Varroa mortality in comparison to oxalic acid, where the beta acids were in the range 1–2%. So from this evidence, these outcomes, we designed 2 experiments in field at field level. The first one was carried out in 2020, the Hope alpha isoacids. The experiment was carried out in the Plan B apiary with 20 Italian beehives. We set up 4 groups of hives, including 5 hives each. 10 hives were equipped with wider spacers, named multi-spacers of 42 millimeters. And the second group was equipped with a regular spacer at 57.5 millimeters. The queen were caged 24 days before the first treatment and released at the treatment time. As for the alpha acids treatment, we adopt a combined treatment of 0.3% at the first stage on 10 September 2020, and 0.6% 5 days later. We use obviously a 6% oxalic acid as a positive control. We monitored several parameters, colony demography, HB mortality in hive, and Varroa mite fall in the intermediate and post phases with respect to the treatment applied. So we, in the right part of this presentation, you can see the timetable. Passing to the results, we did not have difference as far as the treatment or hive type, but we observed a difference, a significant difference, comparing the pre and post phases of the experiments. This is an obvious result because it's normal for this period to have more or less honeybees in the hive with comparing to the pre-treatment phase. As far as the stores, we did not observe difference for the treatment and the hive type, but we observed a significant difference, significant effect of the hive type treatment interaction, with the dun hive accumulating more stores than the mussy hive if treated with alpha acids. As far as the in-hive bees mortality, we did not observe differences concerning the treatments or the hive type, but the same we observe hive type treatment interaction, as you can see in the graph. What about the Varroa mite fall? We measured separately mature and immature Varroa mite, and as far as the mature Varroa mite fall, there were no differences respect with the control, the treatments, or the hive type. But again, we observed an hive type treatment interaction. And the same was observed as far as the immature Varroa mite. So, resuming these results, we can say that the alpha isoacids did not show differences with respect to the control oxalic acid at higher concentration for all the parameters monitored. The same, there were no differences by using the wider space, mussy spacer, or the regular spacers. But there were several interactions between these two factors that deserve further study and experiments. We did not lose colonies during the experiments, so this was an interesting result. Passing to the experiment with beta isoacids, the setup of the experiment was similar, but the experiment was carried out in 2021. For the experiment, we used only 16 italic Dadan black hive, grouped at the same in 4 groups, 2 groups with wider spacers and 2 groups with regular spacer. A single 2% beta iso op acids in 16% ethanol was the treatment applied in sugar solution 50%. And for the rest, the experiment layout was similar, was the same as for the alpha isoacids. The timetable is on the right, and the experiment started on 6 September 2021 and finished on 18 October 2021 with a treatment applied on 20 September. Resuming the results of these experiments, we did not observe differences by using beta isoacids 2% against the control for all the parameters monitored. We observed higher tendency to accumulate stores in the mussy space hive with respect to the regular hives. No interaction was observed, but unfortunately, we recorded great mortality in the beta iso-alpha acids treated hives, with the one hive in the NUSI group and one hive in the regular group. That is 25%, so it's very high. So due to these results, we plan to test another time again the beta isoacids. So we repeated the experiment in 2022 with the same experimental layout. The second experiment started on 6 September and then on 6 October, and the treatment was applied on 21 September. On overview on the results, confirm that there are no difference by treating the hives with beta OP acids or oxalic acids. No effect of the hive type, no interaction. And in this case, we observed, recorded just one hive collapse treated with oxalic acids, but no high mortality with beta op acids. So some final remarks and consideration on this experience, great experience. Op acids exhibited some interesting effects on the bees and environmental control and lab condition, but scaling up to the field, some benefits seem to somewhat inconsistent. However, we can affirm that by using OP acids against oxalic acid, the results were almost the same for the majority of parameters monitored. There are some statistical interaction there reserved for the investigation, for the effort to be explained. The common mortality was recorded in 2021-2022 with the trial with the beta OP acids against oxalic acid, but inconsistent results suggest that such events could be caused by other uncontrolled factors like season or something else around the apiary. I don't know at the moment. Comparing to OP acids, probably the alpha types are more easily applicable by liquid treatment, as this type of OP acids are quite good soluble in water. And to the best of our knowledge, this is the first time that integrated experiments from lab to the field have been carried out, and so we are proud of this. At the end of this experimentation, these are our contribution that was spent in the ASPA Congress in 2021, and further contribution has been accepted for the ASPA 2023 that will be held in Monopoly, Italy. And thank you all for your attention, and I'm available for any clarification or any request. Thank you very much.